Hi, I'm Daniel Follis, and today I'm going to be showing you the GoPro Hero 4 Black Edition. The Black Edition is like any other GoPro you'll find on the market probably right now, except for its 4K capability. It's basically the same as the Silver Edition, except no screen, and same as all the 3s and 3 Plus and everything else. So, to start with using your GoPro, you're going to want to turn it on, obviously. So you're just going to hold down this button right in front for a couple seconds, and it should blink red, beep, and you'll see it starting up. And so once you get onto here, this will be your main screen. And in the main screen, you're going to see up top, you're going to see the little camera that'll show you if you're taking pictures, you're in burst mode, you're recording, you're in playback mode, or you're on your settings. You should know from the screen, but it'll show you there. And then next to it, you have a W, which shows that you're shooting in the widest angle, which you can change in the settings, which we'll get to later. Next to it, there's a little square with a dot in it, and that's spot metering, so that you're probably not going to need to worry about, but you can also change that in your settings, which we will see later. And then right underneath it, there's 1080/24. That means you're shooting at 1080p with 24 frames per second. And that will change depending on what you have the camera set to, which again we will go through later. 34 is the number of files that you've taken on there. Under that, you have the amount of battery time and recording and battery life. And so the next, if you press this, you can switch from your modes. See, it has power, and then it says mode underneath. And the next mode is camera mode, and then you have 152 shots left. It says wide angle, the metering, and then up here it says 12 MP, which means it has 12 megapixels, which again you can change in the settings. And it says 3 FPS, change in the settings, and then the amount of shots you can take and the battery. And then the next mode is burst mode. Burst mode, basically the same thing as the regular photo mode, but you can take a multiple burst. This, it says the same amount of pictures basically as it did with the regular camera. Battery again, 152 shots, 12 megapixels, and this 30/1 second means it'll take 30 pictures in 1 second. So if you press the top button, which is the record/take a picture button, or select button, it'll take 30 pictures. Like that, which is quite a lot. And then you can go into the next mode, which is setup. So in setup, you can click the top button again to select setup, and your top setting is wireless. So wireless is a really neat feature, and it helps you connect to your phone, and then you can control your GoPro from your phone. So if you press the top button to select wireless, it'll say off, RC, and app, and back. So back is obviously to go back to the menu, off is to turn off the wireless, and RC and app is to use the app. So if you press the mode button again, it'll scroll you down to RC and app, and then you press select, and it'll say existing, new app, new RC, and back. So back obviously goes back. New RC is new remote control, so you can have the option to use a remote control, and then new app is to use a new app with someone else's phone, and existing is existing. So for right now, we're going to go down to new app, and we're going to click it. And so it's going to say pairing, and then it has the time that it has left to pair. GoPro is in pairing mode. We're going to go on to the settings on this iPhone. We're going to go into Wi-Fi, and then it's going to search for the GoPro. So this GoPro's name is NYCZ GoPro, which you can customly name it from your GoPro app once you're connected. So basically, when you go on your Wi-Fi, you'll see one that has GoPro, and you'll connect to it and type in the password, which will come in the box with the GoPro, and then you can also customly change that after the fact. So now we're going to go over to the GoPro app, which you can download from the App Store or wherever, and you can go to connect and control it once you're connected. Connected to the GoPro, you can see a preview. So this is me recording this video for the GoPro. And in the app, you have all of your settings and everything. You have the little record button down here to record or switch your modes. So you can go to video, video plus photo, looping, camera, this, and it'll change all your things on your GoPro. And then you can go to your settings, and then we might as well just run through the settings on the phone too, and then we'll go back on the GoPro. So the top, you have your resolution. You can go from all of this. You can do really low down here at 720 super view, 720. Super view just means really wide, and you got 1080, goes all the way up to 4K and 4K super view, which is really crazy. So I might as well just set it to 4K. And then you can change your frames per second to go to 30, make it a little bit faster. Field of view, you can change it to wide, but you can't change this when you're in video mode, but you can change it when you're in photo mode. But the unfortunate thing is that it will take down the megapixels from 12 to probably 7 just to go to a smaller field of view. So here we have spot metering. That's kind of, it meters light off of a certain spot instead of out of the whole picture. Usually you're not going to want that on, so we're going to have that off right now. Patroon is basically all your other settings. If you turn that on, it makes it more manual. So you can go to your white balance to change that. You can change your color settings, your ISO limit, your sharpness, your EV comp, and you can reset it all to the beginning. So this is the photo settings, so it just has continuous rate, which means when you're in the regular photo mode and not the burst, if you hold down the button, how many photos it'll take. So you can go to 10 photos a second. This has your megapixels, which this is basically how you can control your zoom. So you can go down to 7 megapixels to make it less, but it'll still be wide. And then you can go down to 7 megapixels medium, which decreases the field of view of the really wide angle from the GoPro to more of a smaller angle. And then after that you have your spot metering, and then your custom settings, which are all the same. And your multi-shot rate, which is the same thing, so you have all the photos per second settings. And then you have megapixels, meteor, ProTune, and then you the default mode is basically what mode it'll go to when you start up your GoPro. So right now we have it set to video, which is what it defaults to. So that's probably the best thing because that's usually what people use the GoPro most for. The default video sub mode basically means what video mode it'll be in. So it could be video plus photo or looping video. Again, you're probably just going to want to have it on video. LED blink is just showing how many LEDs it'll blink when you press a button basically, or if it's on or off. And then the beeps, this just controls on when you press the buttons, if it's going to beep softer, full percent, or off. And video format, this is just NTSC or PAL. Those you're probably just going to want to keep that on NTSC. On-screen display, you can turn off your on-screen display, so it'll turn off the little LCD screen, which I don't know why you'd ever want to turn that off. Auto off, which means if you're not using your GoPro, you can set it to turn off in 5 minutes so you don't waste your battery, which is nice, especially when you're doing some sort of sport like snowboarding. Wireless mode, this just means if it's on smart mode, which means it can connect really to anything, so it knows what it's connecting to. Off means that it's completely off. App means it's connected to the GoPro app. RC means it's connected to a GoPro remote, but you're going to want to leave it on smart. So wireless mode, you have off, app, RC, smart. You're going to want to leave it in smart because it knows what it's doing in smart, so it knows basically what it's connecting to. You don't need to manually set it to what it's connecting to. Remote, or RC is remote though, so you can buy a GoPro remote instead of using your phone, and that will connect to that, but you can just leave it in smart again, and then the app, and then off. So right now we're just going to leave it in smart so we can continue using the GoPro app. Set date and time, obviously you know what that is. Delete last file, or you can delete all the files from an SD card for some reason if you ever want to do that. Then you go down here to camera info. You have the name and the network name, so the Wi-Fi name, the password for it. Then you have the version of the GoPro, be able to locate the camera, turn that on or off. Use with a Wi-Fi remote or use with a new Wi-Fi remote, so you can set that up. And then it has the battery level and the SD card capacity. So then we're going to go back out, and then we're gonna go through the playback. Is pretty simple on here. You can just see all the files you have on here and scroll through them. So run through the settings right quick on the GoPro and not the phone. So we're gonna go and press the mode button a couple times until you get to the setup. And then we're gonna press the top one to get to the settings. So the first one, we have the wireless. You can press the top button, which is select. To get into that, you have the up and down. You have the default video. You have the off, the auto timer off. You have the metering, the beep noise, the video format. You have the auto timer, date and time, and delete. You can reset your camera, and then at the bottom it has exit. So when you press exit, it takes you back to video. So on the side here, we have another button with a little wrench on it for settings, and so if you press that, it takes you to your video settings or whatever mode you're on that setting. So you have your video recording time, your resolution, your FPS, you have all these settings, and you can go through that on any of the modes. So to record video, all you do literally press the top button, you'll hear a beep, you'll see the red light flashing, and then on the top, if you have your wireless on, you will see a blue light flashing every once in a while. And then on the top, there's another red light that'll flash, that'll show you that it's recording. And to stop recording, press it again, it'll beep a couple times, and then you're done. If you ever need to replace the battery, it's down here. You just press this button, slide it forward, and then you have this little tab right here on the battery that you just pull out, and then you can replace it, take it out, charge it, do whatever you need to do with it, put it back in, put it down. So, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory, but what you're going to want to do is take this part right here and just pull down or like pull up on it, and that should release this, which will open up the back. And this is the blackout case, and someone drilled some holes in the side here, so that's not going to be there. And usually this will be completely covered, so it'll be waterproof, but this one is not. So to put it in, probably just going to want to set it down like that. Put the GoPro in with the lens and everything lined up. Just set it in, close the back, and then just put this top like this on the back cover, and then just make sure it's locked and push it down, and it should be good. And then you might just want to look at it to make sure that everything is correctly locked so that it retains its waterproof capability. But this one, it's not going to, because it's not even a waterproof case. But if it is, just make sure you don't want to ruin your GoPro. And then all the buttons, still the same, accessible. They're just not going to have the numbers on them. Or not the numbers, like the symbols. So this one's your settings, your select and record, and your off and on and modes. So that's pretty much it for the GoPro. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helps you out. See ya.